The thing that has really bumped up the views on both YouTube and also on Facebook and Instagram is short video. I made a plan to post a short every day, and that's really worked. Holy cow, this works. Holy cow. 320,000 views on YouTube, 3.2 million views on Facebook and Instagram. A lot of people look at them and then will subscribe. 30 different countries, all 50 states here, all the provinces in Canada. Yeah. When he opened up his phone to unlock his phone to take the selfie, he had YouTube open and it was shorts, and all the shorts were my face on it.
Hello, and welcome to the Art of Selling Online Courses. We're here to share winning strategies and secret hacks from top performers in the online course industry. My name's John Ainsworth, and today's guest is Jori Chisholm. Now, Jori is a world-renowned bagpiper and founder of bagpipelessons.com, which is one of the leading online schools for pipers worldwide. He's been teaching online since the early 2000s. He's helped thousands of students through his courses, his memberships, and his physical products as well. And he's known for combining deep bagpipe tradition with modern tools to make high-level bagpiping clear, accessible, and enjoyable for players at every level. And we're going to talk today about how to run a great course business in a small niche and what effect AI might have on course businesses, and why to have courses and a membership and maybe even physical products as well. Jori, welcome to the show.
Hi, John. Thanks for having me. Great to see you.
So can you talk us through like who you help with your courses? Is it anybody at any level with bagpiping? Is it like total beginners? Like what's the kind of audience?
Yeah, so I would say my main audience would be from complete beginner bagpipers to, I would say, like experienced sort of intermediate levels. I don't have any sort of professional top level players. They've got it figured out. They've got other ways that they're working on your craft. So, bagpipers are around the world, many countries, but in sort of like the traditional sort of like Anglosphere countries are the big ones. So you have, of course, the UK, Ireland, United States, Canada, New Zealand, Australia would be the big ones. But then I have students and customers all over the world. I think last time I checked, it's close to 30 different countries, all 50 states here, all the provinces in Canada.
Wow. It's cool, isn't it?
Yeah, the internet is just amazing. And I just had a couple months ago, the 25th anniversary of my website, bagpipelessons.com. I registered in 99, launched it in 2000. I had gotten out of university. I thought I was going to have a more conventional career. I was pre-med in college, and I thought, I'm going to be a doctor. And somewhere in the middle of university, I had this feeling that that's not what I was going to do, and that I had this calling to chart my own course, really. And I'm not sure where that came from, but I knew that I loved bagpipes and I loved playing, and I was very interested in the late 90s to see if there was a way that I could combine my interest in this instrument and making a living and using the internet to do that. So started teaching online in 2003. I was the very first person to teach a bagpipe lesson on a webcam. Yeah. So, in 2003, I'm a big Apple Mac guy. They released their FireWire external webcam called the iSight camera. And I bought two of them because at that point I was studying with a great American piper named Mike Cusack down in Houston, Texas, which is a long way from where I live in Seattle. And I would fly down to study with Mike several times a year. And Mike was also a Macintosh guy. So I bought two of these cameras and I sent one to Mike, and he got it. And we turned on, at that point it was called iChat AV, which was like an instant messenger thing with a video thing. And we did it. And somewhere I have a recording of that very first lesson, early 2003. And after that, I was like, holy cow, this works. And I updated my website to say, now offering interactive webcam lessons. And been teaching, online in that format ever since. And went from iChat AV to a whole bunch of different various little video chat programs that have gone away. And then it was on Skype for many years, and then switched over to Zoom now. So, but I teach a few students on FaceTime as well. So just kind of fell into it, wanting to find a way to combine my interest in bagpipes and wanting to keep doing it and, find a way to bring bagpipe information and knowledge to people using the internet. I'm not from a bagpiping family. I'm not from a bagpiping hub center in the world. There are places where there's a lot more, but I really loved it and was super enthusiastic. So I definitely know the feeling of being an outsider and being confused and just hungering and yearning for good information and tools and expertise. And that's what I try to give my students and my customers.
Love it. And one of the things I found with people teaching musical instruments online, and I talk to a lot of people who are teaching, a lot of our clients, a lot of the people who guest on the podcast are teaching music, is that generally the audience, the customers, are retired, are like over 50. And I'm super curious to find out what kind of age range have you got with your customers?
Yeah, so I have the whole range. I would say I don't have a lot of really young kids, although I have youngish kids. um, I don't know what percentage of my. I don't think the majority of my students are retired. I would say a lot of them are middle aged, um, who are really passionate about this hobby, and it's a hobby to them. It's something they love to do, something they take a lot of pride in, and they spend a lot of time working on it, and they're willing to invest in getting some, high quality feedback and information. So, like everything out there, there's a lot of information on the internet. A lot of it is not that good, and you can spend a lot of time trying to find good information and trying to sort out whether it's, um, worth your time. So, what I try to do is be a trusted source for people where I've been doing this. I started playing when I was a little kid. I've been doing this professionally for many, many years now. And what I'm going to offer you is high quality information that you can trust, a one-on-one connection with me. I have a big audience, but my members and my online course subscribers it's manageable. So you can email me, you can instant message me, and I will answer your questions. So high quality information from a source that you can trust so that you can spend your time practicing, getting better, working on your craft, enjoying it, finding more meaning and satisfaction and making more progress and learning to play the bagpipes, and not just combing the internet, going down rabbit holes and chasing dead ends. So
With building your audience, I know that you've got like about 4,000 odd subscribers on YouTube, but your views are like way higher than that. Like you're getting about 30,000 views a month. What's working for you there? Are you mainly getting views from search or discovery, or like what's kind of working for you?
yeah, so a couple of years ago, I set a goal to make 52 YouTube videos in the year. So one a week. And I hit it, and it was a lot. And I'm really glad that I did it. And I ended up working with a couple of really great editors, freelance editors, who helped me hit that goal. And then last year, sort of thought that was too much. I'm going to keep doing YouTube videos, but I'm not going to do it at that pace. I would say the thing that has really bumped up the views on both YouTube and also on Facebook and Instagram is short videos.
Mm.
So I made a plan to, I think it was last year, to post a short every day,
Mhm.
and that's really, really worked. So I don't personally look at short videos. I'm trying to get stuff done and run a business and raise my family, so I don't have a lot of time to just enjoy the algorithm. So I don't look at shorts, but I know that people really love shorts. And from the data that I look at, we get a lot of people that look at them and then will subscribe. And then I try to get people on my email list. That's kind of the main thing that drives my business, is getting people on my email list so that they can learn more about the things that I have to offer them. So I'd say
I know
short video has really been super helpful.
I know you're not big into tracking metrics, but do you have any sense of like how well the shorts convert into email subscribers versus long form viewers?
I don't.
No. Okay.
Um, the numbers that I have, um, when I'm talking to people that say, "Oh wow, you're doing YouTube. That's so great. Do you make a lot of money off YouTube?" And it's like, not in the way that some people make money off of YouTube, which is I'm not monetizing my videos. I mean, I think I have monetization turned on for a few videos, and it's like pennies here and there.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to do is use it so people can find out about what I'm doing, so people know who I am, so people can um, be familiar with my offerings. And so many of my YouTube videos are, what I try to do is give high quality information that addresses problems that pipers have. Introduce topics, try to demystify things, try to simplify complex topics that maybe traditionally have been unclear in the way that they're taught or communicated, or is sort of unnecessarily complicated. So I try to simplify and make things clear to people. And often that will involve highlighting a course or a product that I've invented. I've been playing since 1987, started as a kid, competed at the world-class level for many, many years, going to Scotland and competing at these top championships, playing in bands and teaching. If I didn't learn something about what the problems are that pipers face, I would be missing out. So I try to take that experience for myself and for my students and go, okay, this is an issue that pipers have. Maybe this is a video that's going to address that question. Maybe this is a PDF that people can download, a checklist or a guide, or maybe it's a actual physical product that I need to invent and get out there that will help people. So
one of the things that you've been creating a lot of short form stuff, and you told me just before we started, you got like over 3 million views last year on Meta. Like, how did that happen? Because you said you weren't even setting it as a goal. It's like, that seems like a lot.
Yeah. So I focus on the production side of my business because that's what I love to do. And that's what that's what have all this experience doing. Like, I'm a musician, creating music, creating performances, teaching, creating content, finding new ways to communicate things in an inspiring and engaging and fun way. That's what I love to do. Making videos, got this cool camera and this like lighting setup here. That's fun to me. Obsessing over, I don't know, landing pages or metrics is like not, I know that's important, but that's not what I'm interested in doing. I did a little Happy New Year, thanks for a great year email that I sent out to my list just last week. And as part of that, was trying to think of like, what are some highlights over 2025, and went through, I was like, holy cow, 320,000 views on YouTube, 3.2 million views on Facebook and Instagram. I was not shooting for that. But what I was doing was on the production side, which is let's make sure we're posting regularly. Let's make sure that I'm mixing in sort of product information offers with free high value content and lots of short videos. So a short video every day. I think that's what's driving it.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's still a lot though.
Yeah, it's
right,
crazy.
isn't it?
And it's like different, I'm not the expert on this, but there are, different audiences in different places. I think my audience is still really heavily on Facebook, despite all the other platforms and offerings that pop up. So sort of from kids into middle age, into retirement age, adults in the countries I talked about, but the United States is a big country, something like 50 million people. Americans consider themselves of Scottish heritage, big audience, lots of people interested in bagpipes, interested in investing in their hobbies. Not everybody who plays bagpipes is willing to who wants to study and get better and invest in products that will help them enjoy their piping. So I think those people are on YouTube and Facebook.
Yeah, that makes sense. One of the things you said there was that you're not really that interested in the numbers or landing pages, what have you. I think that's like most of the people listening to the podcast are kind of the same. Like nearly all of our clients are kind of the same. It's like people started a course business because they are an expert in a particular topic and they love teaching. So they love teaching through YouTube or short form videos and courses and what have you. And I think that's basically how come I started that business. Basically, it was just like I could see there's a need of there's all these places where knowing the metrics, making great funnels is really helpful, but this is a group of people who do not really want to do that. That's not kind of the focus. One thing I wanted to ask you about actually was that you said that you think AI is going to wipe out a lot of generic information only courses. Can you talk to us about that? Because that's a fascinating point of view.
Yeah. So I'm really interested in AI and what it can do, and sort of stepping out away from my business, just like I'm just sort of interested in technology and very interested in where the world is going with this. And I have kids and they're in school. And of course, there's just lots of implications for everybody with these technologies. And so I basically don't watch the news. I just try to stay focused on the things that I can control and focus on my business, So following and scrolling and following what's going on in current events is not compatible with me living the kind of life that I want to lead and running the business that I want to. But I do read AI-based news. And one of the things that seems to be coming up is that, and this maybe is obvious, is that information is becoming easier to gather, and sort of you can synthesize what you're looking for, just like Google AI search. So I use that all the time now instead of regular Google search. So you're looking for something and it will curate the response, just for what you're looking for. So it's not like, how do I change the light bulb on my Prius and then go find a website and find a video and try to scroll down. It's like it just tells you, and you
Yeah.
can, you know how these tools work. So it makes me think that, you could create your own lead magnet. Say like, oh, I want a guide for how to tune my bagpipes quickly on my own using my ear without a tuner. Well, that's something that I could teach, but as these AI tools get better, that's just something you could just search and it would just create it for you instantly,
Mm.
or with vibe coding, we'll create an app for me to do this. So I really think that the idea of having, if your course, so let me just talk about me. So if my course is simply information on a website that someone has to pay to like access, that's so easily replaceable by an AI tool.
Mm.
I mean, I've done this where I've listened to a podcast, and it's like a really interesting podcast with an author talking about some topic, and they have a book. We can go to an AI tool and just like give me a super in-depth summary of the book. Don't even need to read the book. Now,
Mm.
obviously, reading the whole book's better than the AI summary, but it's kind of amazing how much information you can get and presented in the way that you want. And now these AI tools also have like quiz mode and learning mode and create flashcards and create quizzes and create videos. I was just playing around with Notebook LM last couple days, which is a Google tool. And it's like upload all these documents, create flashcards, create quizzes, create an infographic. So the information that's out there in the world can be easily synthesized and repurposed and put into any format that you want. And that could be an online course. I mean, think
Right.
about your favorite author or podcaster or whatever. There's no reason you couldn't suck it out all the transcripts from all those podcasts on the topics that you want and turn it into a course.
Yeah.
I mean, what's to stop someone from taking
Yeah, I've
that and then
effectively
selling
done
the
that
course,
before.
right?
Like I found a YouTube channel that was about a topic I was interested in. But each video was just covering one little bit, and I had certain questions I wanted answered. So I went through and I used a tool called, I think it was Grab It, and it like pulled in all the URLs, and I put the URLs in with another tool into Notebook LM, and then that basically gave me the output of I can now ask it any questions I had, and it would give me the answers to it from
Yeah.
that. And it's
Well,
just like, oh, that saved me watching like 50 YouTube. Now, I could have paid to sign up for their course, but I was like, oh, maybe this is enough, actually. Maybe this will give me what I'm after.
yeah.
And I think I think it's a kind of a mixture of a threat and an opportunity at the same time here with AI, because it's like, on the one hand, it's like, oh, why would someone get a course if they could do all of these things for free? And it might even be better. So course sales might go down, but then we can use these tools to make our courses and what we're providing people with better. Like we
Yeah.
had someone on the other
Yeah.
day who she's built her own AI tool using one of the services out there and then sold that, and she made 3 times more money from that than she ever made from selling courses.
Like monetizing like a chatbot or something?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
very, very interesting. So I'm a techno optimist. I love combining new tools, services, opportunities, and like merging it with something I'm
Mm.
really passionate about, which is a sort of an ancient thing, bagpipes. But people are just it will be an adaptation process. One thing that an AI tool, at least now, I don't know when people are watching this, years from now, maybe it's been replicated, but at least as of right now, early 2026, it can't replicate you,
Yeah.
right? So that's been my whole thing. There's like a little bit of imposter syndrome. I think people feel it's like, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to be the expert on this. I'm going to teach this, but there's so many other people and they're so much better than me or more established or whatever. Yeah, but they're not you. So
Mm.
I know there are other bagpipe teachers out there. There are other places you can get information. Some are free, whatever. But I'm me. And if you like my style and you like the way that I present the information, this is, you're working with me. That's an
Yeah.
amazing thing about one-on-one like Skype or Zoom lessons is that if um, you can find a teacher that you connect with no matter where you live in the world, right?
Mm.
It's not just, I got to find a teacher, a piano teacher that I can drive to, right?
Mhm.
So now you
Yeah.
can find someone you connect with. So same thing with these online courses. You connect with that person, something about their delivery, their personal connection to you, the way they present the information, you know, only you can be you.
Yeah.
And if that's valuable to people, then they're willing to sign up. So
You mentioned earlier that you like, if people have got a question, they can just email you or instant message you or what have you. And I think one of the things that I'm seeing become more important is to have that kind of community or way of answering questions, or like to actually interact with a real person. And I know one of the things you've got is you've got courses and a membership. A lot of people have just one or the other, right? And you've got courses
Mhm.
and a membership, and you've got physical products as well, which I think is awesome. Can you talk everyone through like why you're doing all those different things, kind of what the benefits of that are?
So the way it started was, so I'm teaching, have my online webcam lesson business starting in the early 2000s, and I had a student who was a successful guy in business and was sort of semi-retired, and he said, what would be really great was for every tune that I want to learn, if I could have like a really nice clean copy of the sheet music and a recording that would match it, and maybe a little recorded lesson. And so it was like, yeah, that's totally doable. Because typically the way that pipers learn tunes is that there's some like old book somewhere, then you get a photocopy of a photocopy, and maybe there's a bunch of typos in it. So it's got like writing all over it. So I came up with this idea of a tune lesson download, which is a really nice professionally typeset PDF of the sheet music with no typos, a recording of me playing it on the pipes, and then like a brief 5 to 10 minute audio recorded lesson. And those are $5, and I still sell them all these years later. And that was like my first downloadable product, $5, and you could buy bundles of them. Then I thought, well, I should really make some things showing some of the fingering. So I created these things called video lesson downloads. And these are like basic little 5 to 10 minute videos. Again, this is like before people were streaming and embedding, high quality video. So it was like a little video file that you would download in a zip file. Still sell some of those, not too many though. And then I had other ideas where I could do this, I could do that, I could do a guide, I could do how to tune your drones or whatever. And then right away I thought, this is too much. Like just to have like a web store with like hundreds of little mini things to download is like too much. I'm going to create basically an all you can eat, all inclusive thing. So I started my online membership, and it was called the bagpipelessons.com studio. And it was basically just a lesson library behind a, password that you'd subscribe to, you pay monthly or yearly, and you just get everything was in there. And that still exists. So for years, I had this idea that I wanted to create a more interactive, live, community-based aspect to my membership. So about 5 years ago, I started doing live weekly classes on Zoom, and then sort of rebranded it. Now it's called the bagpipelessons.com Inner Circle. And what you get is the live weekly classes with me. And sometimes I bring in other world-class bagpipers as guest instructors. And you get access to this lesson library that had everything I had in my old studio library and the archived video recordings from all these live sessions. So there's hundreds of hours of these recorded live classes that are available on the membership. And we have a Facebook group. I forget the original question you asked, but that's sort of
About
like
you
how I
having the
got into
membership
this
and the
online course
courses.
thing, was having little downloadable a la carte lessons on tunes and then videos. And then thought, this is too much to keep adding these piecemeal. Let's have a membership. Then we add the live course aspect to it. But what I realized is that for a lot of people, that's a big leap from a $5 tune download to a yearly subscription.
Mhm.
So I wanted to add some things sort of in between there. So I do have a couple other more specific courses, which are maybe more like the traditional online course, which is there's not a live aspect to it. You just pay for it, and then you get access to the lesson content. Those have been good in terms of getting people to, again, sort of learn more about me, see the type of quality and the type of content that I'm offering. And then a lot of people that start with those tune downloads or with the courses will then upgrade to the membership.
Okay, so that's kind of like your product ladder is like you start with some of those cheaper offerings or with the independent individual courses, and then you'll go on to become a member of the actual. Is it still
Yeah,
called the
some people do
studio?
it that way.
Yeah.
Although I do also have, when somebody signs up to be a member, I'm always kind of curious to see like, okay, where do they come from? And sometimes it will be someone who's been on my email list for a while and they've downloaded some of my free guides. But sometimes it's just boom. The very first sort of contact I have with them is them signing up. So I think that comes from the YouTube presence. I think where that's coming from. So
Mm.
people, I haven't had a connection with them. They haven't downloaded. they're not in my email audience, but they've been watching me and um, getting to know me through my videos, getting to understand the content that I offer, and then being like, okay, I'm ready now. Boom, I'm going to
Yeah.
sign up. So
Straight in from there. And then in terms of, because I know there are people who go in just straight from YouTube, but then you also do build up an email list. You've got your free downloads and what have you as well. How often are you then doing a promotion of a course or the membership or something like that to your email list?
gosh, I'm sending out a lot of emails. I'm probably sending out, I'm not sure how many emails I send out a year, but I try to get, at least a couple of emails out every week.
Okay.
So a combination of um, helpful content, and then there's various announcements and news kinds of things. And then, again, I'm not pushing the hard sell on people,
Mm.
but I really believe in these products is that this is something I've invented, either a physical product or this is a course that I've developed, which is going to help you. Like I know what you're going through and you don't have to get this, but this is out there. So I try to mix in, it's a combination of content, videos, guides, downloads, and then various promotional offers. I also have a lot of email automation that really helps. So a welcome flow, post-purchase flows, various offers and sort of gifts to my subscribers, either free download or an offer to get one of my online courses at a really big discount, stuff like that.
Got it. Yeah. And one of the reasons that I work with online course creators is because I'm such a big fan of online courses, because I just think they're fantastic. There's only so much you can get someone to in a podcast or in a YouTube video, just because of the way that because you're trying to optimize for what is it that people want there. But when you put the course together, you can be like, right, I'm going to organize this exactly in the right way so that I can get someone from where they are to where they want to be in terms of the actual outcome and the result that they want to have. And so I get really passionate about like promoting it. That's one of the things I work with people a lot on is like, you need to be promoting these courses more because it's like, they're so good. People put out hundreds of hours into making this amazing course. It's like, you've got to tell people about it. We've got to get it out there.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of course creators are like, oh, surely everybody knows about it. Surely it's, it's like, no. We've got to promote this. We've got to be telling people about it and give them get them to take action on it because this stuff is so good.
Yeah.
What's the biggest challenges for you, would you say, with like the email marketing, the funnels, the kind of the promotional side of things?
I'm still amazed when I meet people who haven't heard of my website or my products. And I don't mean that in any kind of immodest way. I just feel like I'm out there. I'm hammering the email list and I'm on the social media. And, one of my products is called the Tone Protector. And it's it's a digital two-way humidity controlling reed cap, goes over your bagpipe reed and it keeps it's like a little digital humidor for your reed. And they're used everywhere from like world champion players all the way down. So I feel like it's been out for many years, selling tons of them. And I'm just amazed when people haven't heard of it. So I guess it's just a reminder that there's a really big, it's a hyper niche, bagpipes and accessories and lessons, but it's still, there are people out there who haven't heard of it. So one of my goals for this year is, again, just, I guess you call that top of funnel, just like trying to reach pipers who haven't heard of my website or haven't heard of my courses or me or my products, and just not trying to do the hard sell, but just saying, hey, there's this thing out here. People love it. People trust it. People use it. Check it out. Maybe it's for you. So I'd say that's probably what I'm looking at. So like the email's working well, the videos are working well. I feel like, I wouldn't say these products quite sell themselves, but they have a great reputation. So just trying to find pockets of pipers that are still maybe kind of like off of the grid that I'm on,
I was listening to, do you know Alex Hormozy?
Yeah. I don't know him, but I know about him. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I meant. Yeah. I was listening to him the other day talking about how he's got so much content he's putting out there and he's doing so much promotion. And he had like some book out and he was just trying to promote it as much as he possibly could. And he said he'll regularly just walk down the street. He'll bump into people who know him and like want to come up and say hello. And he was asked them at the time, like, oh, what do you think of the new book? And they'd be like, oh, you have a book out? It's just like, it's like, what do I need to do? Oh my God.
It's funny.
Doing so much promotion. I think I see that a lot with, course creators. We had someone who was convinced that he was already promoting enough to his audience. So we did a survey of his audience and asked them, what courses would you like this guy to make? It's from him. So like, what courses do you want me to make? And people were asking him to make courses that he had already made because they did not know. They wanted to get a course on that topic and they did not know it existed. He was like, all right, okay, I guess I better do some more promotions.
I mean, it's like, is that just a symptom of where we are in the world right now, which is so much stuff coming at us,
Mm.
the emails and, I don't know. Yeah.
Well,
So I
that, and
guess,
it's like people aren't interested in the thing until they're interested in it, right? So if you're sending out promotional emails for some course and it's at a point when someone isn't ready for that topic, it's like white noise. So just pass them by.
absolutely. Well, it's like mattress commercials on TV. Like, there's so many mattress commercials on TV. And I remember thinking years ago, like, who are these people? Like, who are these people buying mattresses? But I guess you just have to be there. And then
Yeah.
when that person, like every 8 or 12 years or whatever, is like, mattress, there it is. Like, I guess you just have to be there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know what the answer is. If there's one, I don't know if there's a silver bullet there, but just trying to do what I'm doing, making videos, posting stuff on social media. To me, trust is everything. I want my
Mm.
audience to know that I'm not just trying to get their money. I want customers that are happy, not only buy the thing or subscribe to the thing, but are really happy about it and don't have regrets about it and would recommend it to their friends. So, this is my 25th year of my website, and I try never to say anything that I would regret later. Like, I want to be truthful. All the things that I sell on my shop are products that I have made or products that are made by other people that I personally use and recommend. So that's what I want people to know about my website, which is I don't have as much inventory or I don't have as many offerings as some other retailers, but everything that I have is something that I personally use and recommend. So to me, that trust factor is really, really important.
I love that. I absolutely love that. If someone's been listening to this and they're like, I want to go check you out. Maybe they're interested in learning bagpipes, or maybe they just want to go and have a look at what you're doing. Where should they go?
Yeah, so the website is bagpipelessons.com, and then I have bagpipe lessons as my username or handle on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, X. I just started posting on X again. So check it out, but check out the YouTube channel, youtube.com/bagpipe lessons. Trying to post there. Yeah, or just
I was
go to the
watching one of your
website.
videos just before we jumped on, and I was seeing there was you'd got hold of a 130-year-old bagpipe, or you
Yeah,
thought you were checking if it was verified or something like this.
yeah,
I was like, man, it looked in amazing condition.
yeah. Really amazing story. So, like, the most famous bagpipe maker of all time was a guy named Peter Henderson, and he died in 1903. So, like, a set of Peter Henderson bagpipes made by Peter Henderson is sort of like the holy grail, like, I guess, like the Stradivarius of bagpipes. And I think that's what these pipes are. They were in a case for 75 years and were
Wow.
donated to a student of mine who runs a small community band in Australia, in rural Australia. And he just thought these pipes were so amazing, but he didn't have a use for them. What he needed was multiple sets of more basic bagpipes for all of his students. So we made a deal, and I have these amazing pipes here, and his band got what they needed, which is a bunch of really nice basic sets for his students. And yeah, I just got them recently, and I haven't even had a chance to fully play them, but it's really a remarkable find. These from probably 1890, whatever.
Wow.
So I mean, that's kind of like the dream of pipers, is that to discover or to be handed or to find in a pawn shop or something that somebody found under a bed that hadn't been played. So
Phenomenal. I love that.
yeah,
That is so cool.
that's
So
the
if you
fun.
want,
Yeah, that's a fun thing about, well, I mean, YouTube's amazing and you can find all sorts of great stuff on there, but just did okay, I got these pipes. Let's turn on the camera. Let's open it up, see what we have. And it's just a fun, um, and I'm kind of amazed. I forget that all the people out there that could be watching these videos, and I have completely random friends who are not bagpipers say, "Hey, I watched your video on those bagpipes. That was really cool." Or some really famous bagpiper from Scotland says, "Hey, I really love watching your YouTube channel." It's like, okay, cool.
I got a friend. He's I mentioned him a bit on this podcast. He's in London as well, and he's American. He teaches banjo,
Yeah.
and He only started like a year and a half ago. Like it's all relatively new. Like he was already, very good at playing the banjo, but he wasn't running a YouTube channel or anything. And he was out on a date the other day, and he's walking down the south bank of the Thames, and this guy comes up to him and he's like, oh, what's this guy after? Is he after money? Is he after directions? What is it? And he looks at the guy, and the guy's got like one of those big handlebar mustaches, and he's like, wait a minute, I know that kind of mustache. That's an ironic mustache, that is. That is a banjo player. And the guy's recognized him. So it's like he's out on this date, and the guy's like, oh my God, are you Jack from Banjo? It's like, oh, yes, I am.
That's so great. So we were in Scotland this last summer for a wedding, and we were way up in the Highlands northwest of Scotland, up by the Isle of Skye. And we're in this tiny little co-op grocery store in the Kyle of Loch Elsh, and with my wife, and we're just getting some groceries there because we're staying in a little Airbnb in a little village there. And as we're checking out, the grocery checker, he's like looking at me, and then it's like it's beautiful, beautiful part of the world, but way out there. And then as I'm finished paying and I'm bagging my like groceries and milk and eggs and whatever, he goes, "You're Jori Chisholm." I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "I'm a piper too, but I'm not a legend like you." It was so great. And I was like, "We got to get a picture together." No, actually, he said, there's a big line up behind us, and he said, "Sorry, I'm going to hold up the line. Can I get a selfie with you?" So we got a picture together.
Nice.
And but just wild, Well, actually, then when he
Yeah.
opened up his phone to unlock his phone to take the selfie, he had YouTube open, and it was shorts, and all the shorts were my face on them. So anyway, just like a very small feeling of celebrity for just a brief moment, but that was
Yeah.
fun.
Big celebrity in a tiny niche. I think there's a lot of fun to that. You don't have the problems of being like actually famous, but you got the fun of it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but it is really great to have these tools to be able to, you know, if you have something to say, get it out there. It's
Yeah.
never been easier, which is really amazing. I think it's just a really exciting time.
Wicked. But if anyone wants to go check out Jori's site, it's bagpipelessons.com or youtube.com/bagpipelessons or bagpipe lessons on any of the other platforms as well. Jori, thanks so much for coming on today. I really, really appreciate your time. This has been awesome.
Thanks, John. Super fun. Good luck with the podcast and with everything else you're doing. Happy New Year.
Thanks, man.